out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jack.
Yeah, I've always liked mathematics, and about 30 years ago, 40 years ago, I guess, I had gone out for dinner with two priests, Father Lennon and Father De Rosa. And we went to an Italian restaurant, and I thought I ordered decaf coffee at the end of the meal. Well, it turned out I didn't. It was caffeine. I couldn't sleep, so I got home, and this is like in the early 80s, and there was no internet or whatever, and so I took out the baseball encyclopedia, and I started looking at Babe Ruth's home run totals, and I realized after just putting things together back and forth that Babe Ruth actually out-homered teams, and he did it 90 times. He out-homered teams 90 times in his career. And I said, wow, did anyone else do this? And I couldn't find anyone close to him. So I started putting things together, and at this time, my oldest friend, Frank Matola, gave me books called Baseball Abstract that was self-published by this guy, Bill James, who is the high priest of sabermetrics. And he defined the term sabermetrics as a search for objective knowledge about baseball, taking the saber from an organization called the Society for American Baseball Research. So I went to the people at Seton Hall. I said I'd like to do a course, and one thing led to another. I believe it was the first course ever offered on sabermetrics for college credit, and then we introduced it at West Point. Now, a lot of schools have it. Look, I was just fortunate. I stumbled across it before anyone else did. But I must add that there's a fundamental theorem of sabermetrics, and I'm going to make a connection. You know, at West Point, I mean, I've been so fortunate, and I've been there. I was only supposed to be there a year, and now it's like 30 years I've been there. But this one Tuesday, Colonel Borman, Frank Borman, who was a West Point graduate, was the first man to apparently sail around the moon. He didn't go on the moon.
That's right, he was an astronaut, Frank Borman.
So I knew he was coming in the department, and I'm walking down the halls, long hallway, and he's being escorted by Captain Slocum. And so I knew Borman was going to be there. I said, sir, it's a pleasure to meet you. He said, Father, what do you do? I said, I teach, yada, yada, yada. And I had Captain Slocum as a student. He said, yeah, what'd you have him for, calculus? I said, no, I had him for sabermetrics. He said, sabermetrics, what's that? I says, well, it's a baseball course. In fact, I'm going to ask Captain Borman to tell you the fundamental theorem of sabermetrics. He said, what is it? So Borman starts, he says, if you do an analysis and Babe Ruth's not the best ever, then Borman just says, well, there's something wrong with the analysis. I felt like kissing him. I was beaming. There were moonbeams. I had moonbeams because of this. And so that's the fundamental theorem. And I didn't make that up. People have said that. The fundamental theorem of sabermetrics.
Something's wrong with the statistics.
Something's wrong with it. How was it growing up in the house with an icon?
My father was Yogi Berra. My father only wanted three things in life: a home, a family, and belonging to a golf course. He figured the way he was going to get that was by playing baseball. He loved baseball. His family came first. He was not materialistic at all.
I'm sure that the Catholic Church was very important to your mom and dad.
I don't think I saw my father miss 3 masses.
Wow.
His generosity, the way he helped people, he talked to them and never turned anybody down. He never understood about the feelings people had for him.
Oh, who doesn't like Yogi Berra? Right. Who doesn't love Yogi Berra?
He was proud to serve his country. He knew that's what he had to do. He was at Normandy. That pushed him over the limit.
There was a gentleness about him. I know he was a strong man. Nothing so strong as real gentleness, and nothing so gentle as real strength. That was your dad. I remember watching Yogi Berra. I was 10 years old, and would I think that I was ever going to meet him, interview his son? This is like a dream. This is like a dream. That's what baseball does.